Messi scores his 10th of the season in a 5-3 win at Cincinnati. And today, Dayne St. Clair opens his World Cup with Canada.
Welcome to Inter Miami Daily. And what a week to walk into.
We've got the road trip in the books, 2 for 2, and the club finally gave us the St. Clair hook we've been waiting for. Let's run it.
Cincinnati first, though. I want to actually sit in this one before the break swallows it.
5-3 at Cincinnati, Wednesday. Miami's first midweek match since April 22. For a depleted squad, that's a road double, and they went 2-0.
And the 10th goal? A ball deflects off his knee. A redirect more than a shot. And it still counts. He bends the thing without even trying.
And you pair that with Toronto, the 100th MLS goal contribution in 64 games. Giovinco needed 95 matches. The pace is the whole point.
That's the number the snobs can't argue with. 64 games. You don't fluke a rate like that.
Exactly. Next pressure point. The travel held up on the field. Survivable. The defending? We got an answer there too. Just not the one you wanted.
So what does July 22 look like? Chicago at home. Without that spine. It got sharper in Cincinnati, not softer.
Hold that, because the club just put up a match preview for St. Clair and Canada against Bosnia. Today, Friday. Their own goalkeeper's World Cup opener.
Which is our first real clue on timing. Canada's a host. And if they go deep, Kirk, Miami could be patching that goalkeeper spot for most of the summer.
Local reporting's been quiet on him for weeks. This club preview gives us the on-the-record peg. It backs up what we'd been saying without a source to point to.
Your number one in goal is gone for as long as Canada keeps winning. That's the line I'd circle going into the break.
From South Florida sports coverage.
Inter Miami CF outdueled FC Cincinnati 5-3 at TQL Stadium on Wednesday night. The Herons played their first midweek game since April 22nd. Inter Miami CF, 7-2-4, had a 1-0 advantage in the 24th minute of play. Matt Miozga tried to clear the ball out from the middle of the FC Cincy penalty area. It deflected off the right knee of Lionel Messi and into the cage from 9 yards away.
5-3 at TQL Stadium. Miami's first midweek match since April 22. And they were down 3-2 in the 64th before ripping off 3 unanswered. So much for easing back in.
And Messi's 10th of the season comes off Miozga's clearance ricocheting off his right knee. 9 yards out, barely anything you'd call a shot. He doesn't even have to aim and it goes in.
Then the actual goal. 55th minute. A left-footed one-timer from 11 yards to make it 2-2. The knee one pads the total. The second is the one you replay.
Here's what gets me, though. Cincinnati put up 3. Silvetti, Bertarame, that late rebound. The attack's fine. But the back line shipping 3 to a 4-5-4 side on tired legs right before the World Cup pulls everybody apart? That's the part I'm sitting with.
Gian Pablo Polito, writing in Inter Miami CF.
Inter Miami CF goalkeeper Dayne St. Clair and the Canadian national team are set to kick off their FIFA World Cup 2026 campaign this Friday, June 12th, when Canada hosts Bosnia and Herzegovina in the opening match of Group B at Toronto Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
So the roster watch we've been on all week finally has a kickoff time. Canada against Bosnia and Herzegovina today at Toronto Stadium, 3 o'clock Eastern, with Dayne St. Clair right there in the club's own preview.
After 3 episodes of me asking whether St. Clair was actually gone, the club publishes a match preview for his World Cup opener. That's about as confirmed gets.
Right. When InterMiamicF.com is pointing you to your goalkeeper's other job, the absence is real. Fox, Telemundo, Peacock if you want the Spanish call.
And here's the part that actually matters for July 22nd. Canada's a host nation. Group stage exits in 86 in Qatar, sure, but home soil changes the math. If they go deep, St. Clair isn't back for the Chicago restart. You're planning in weeks there.
Here's South Florida sports coverage.
Inter Miami CF dominated Toronto FC 4-2 at BMO Field on Saturday. Lionel Messi became the fastest player to reach 100 Major League Soccer goal contributions. He accomplished it with 59 goals and 41 assists in 64 games. Messi surpassed one-time Toronto FC player Sebastian Giovinco, who did it in 95 contests.
Okay, before we move on, 100 MLS goal contributions in 64 games, 59 goals, 41 assists. Giovinco needed 95.
And the part the MLS skeptics can't wave off? The speed. Most ever guys just played longer. He got there faster than anyone.
And he said it in Toronto, against Giovinco's old club, in front of a record crowd of 44,828 at BMO. The man scripts these.
DePaul opened it off the post in the 44th. Suarez followed. Reguilón added another. And Messi made it 4-0 before Toronto got on the board. Miami came out of it second in the East. That was the foot they put down before the break. From Inter Huron.
On June 2nd, St. Martin's Press of New York released Tenorio's book, The Messi Effect: How the Global Legend Changed the Future of American Soccer. He wrote a column about covering Messi that appeared in The Athletic on the same day. In his column, Tenorio wrote that his book examines the growth of American soccer, the creeping influence of the global football economy on the sport in North America, and how Messi's arrival impacted league stakeholders.
Paul Tenorio of The Athletic dropped The Messi Effect on June 2 out of St. Martin's Press. The framing I like. He treats Messi as a business and soccer story, tracking the global football economy as it creeps into American soccer.
And the number that still floors me, Apple TV Plus added 300,000 new season pass subs the week he announced. 300,000 on a separate paywall just to watch a guy in pink.
Right. And that's the part Tenorio's actually chasing. The structural pull beyond jersey sales. Clubs moving Miami games to bigger venues. The league repricing itself around one signing.
Which is why that 5-3 in Cincinnati this week matters. Messi at 10 goals, the 100 contributions in 64 games at Toronto. The book keeps getting new chapters in real time.
Just don't let it slide into legacy content. Tenorio's value is in the receipts. The global economy creeping into MLS roster math. The stuff beyond another highlight reel.
If you like keeping up with Inter Miami every day, check out Angel City Daily Podcast, a daily ACFC supporter briefing with match reaction, NWSL standings, roster moves, women's soccer in Los Angeles, and supporter buzz. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. We've put links to every story from today's episode in the show notes, so if there's a detail you want to dig into, they're waiting there for you. That's Inter Miami Daily Podcast for this Friday, June 12th. This is a Lantern podcast.